and welcome everybody to Sharing Your Journeys. Today, we are bringing back Timmy. Timmy has not been on Sharing Your Journeys for ages now, right, Timmy? And
Mhm.
yeah, and you know, I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad you're back on. Um, Continue to share your journey with us. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna literally hand my platform to you and tell us all, how have you been? How's your hosiery journey been? I'm too excited. I can't get my words out.
Oh, well, oh, I don't know how many other your followers have had like bumps in the road, but we've messaged personally, and I know
Mm,
I've had some, the sudden like lately I've had this like big burst of like self-conscious doubt attacks.
yeah,
Like, I don't know, just one day it just like I just felt like just I guess in simplest way to say it, I just felt ugly.
yeah. I hear
And
that.
and and I don't know, if you've ever felt that way or just, any of your followers and viewers, but it's like, once you kind of just get so negative, it
Mm,
kind of just seeps all over and it kind of went into sort of like a withdrawal shell.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever had, times where you just felt like I don't feel good, I don't look good. I just
Mm.
want not.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And it used to happen quite a lot back in the day where I would let my mind just, once that doubt creeps in, you've got to kind of like get it before it kind of manifests into the big, bad, ugly that's sitting in your head and it's just taking all over you.
Well,
But
I'm not
no,
gonna
it's a
lie,
common
it
thing.
got into big bad ugly.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's naturally it's easier said than done, but I think coming from, like, for instance with me, it's I have had it in the past where it is just I don't feel like me. I don't dress like me. I just, I want to be wearing X, Y, and Z and I don't want to make an effort and I can't look in the mirror. But I think yeah, overcoming that can be very, very hard, but I always find if you start getting that doubt, try and tackle it head on there and then rather than it letting it manifest into the big bad ugly kind of thing, because then it is just harder to come back from. It's
It's
so much
so
more
hard.
hard
It's
work.
it's so hard, and
Yeah.
um, like I think it just and then it just like formed into like not just like I don't look cute,
Mm,
and then it's like I just don't feel good at all in
yeah.
anything, doing
Yeah.
anything, and in the day of social media, I see all of your fabulous posts and your fabulous followers. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not in the club anymore. Great.
That's
That's
so
that.
sad that's sad to hear. That's really sad to hear.
I was like, great, I'm
Yeah.
not in the club anymore, and I'm feeling like crap.
Mm,
But and there's no like I don't know, there's no like magical way to get out of it. You just like um I just kind of just really just I guess if any viewer or listener is watching this, I guess what I did was I literally started from square one.
mm. I was just gonna ask you, how did you manage to get out of that funk? Like, you personally, how did you manage to get out of that?
It was not overnight
Mm,
at all. But I guess just kind of start from where it's like, okay, well, I've done it before. You can do it again. So
mm,
it kind of just, just started dressing up at least how I first started, where it was like, okay, let me just start nice and slow, and then, we
mm.
kind of got back to kind of a good point before the big bad ugly.
Yeah.
But right now, I guess particularly where I am in my journey, I'm very disheartened. I don't know how far your audience reaches in terms of like political ideology, but
Mm,
or current events, but you know, what's happening in the United States right now with the with the elections and, apparently majority of people want Donald Trump back and it's so disheartening.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I saw and I'm like,
Sorry, not sorry
really?
to any if you have any Trump followers in
Mm,
your circle, sorry, not sorry.
mm,
But I don't know you personally, I don't know if you follow like the rhetoric of that person and but it's like it's just such an attack on like anything that's not masculine men
okay,
and
because I was just gonna ask you with him just coming into power and stuff at some point, because I think it's happening next year, isn't it? But coming into power, what does
yeah.
what does that mean? Like, just as a summary, like what does that mean to people? Like, for instance, the men who do wear hosiery, all the LGBTQ community, and that. Just because if I'm honest, I don't follow politics. I don't really want to get involved in it because then everybody has an opinion, and I just don't
Well,
bother. I'm one of those.
to
I
be
just don't
fair,
bother.
that's a great attitude to have. It's such a headache.
Yeah,
What does it mean? I don't want to speak fully for them,
yeah.
but I mean, when you have like, let's just say this, when you have like the leader of a country, leader of a political party, and everybody that works for them has such like anti-LGBTQ views,
Okay. Okay.
um, you know, it's just so hard to feel like you are at least valued as a person.
Mm,
And it's, and I guess that's the simplest way I could say it. Like, and I feel bad for, anybody that doesn't fit what they want. I mean, sure, does a leader of a government get to do everything they say? You know, no.
mm,
But the fact that it's on like the fact that they're saying stuff like that, it's
mm.
at least concerning.
Yeah. 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 I hear that.
And, you know, I guess, my worry for me is like not only do they have, such, open anti-LGBTQ views, but, basically, like I said, if you're not a white person,
Mm.
frankly, you're kind of looked upon as second class, basically.
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
it's not, and the scary thing is, it's already scary that, and like I said, the leader of a political party is saying it, but then it emboldens, citizens who feel that way to feel like, oh, well, I mean, if that's what if that's what the the people in power are feeling, then it's okay for me to feel that way too.
Mm. Mm. No, I see it. Yeah, I see your point. I see your point. It's
And
just it is
it
sad.
just makes me sad that I got my mojo back.
Mm.
And then that
Yeah.
happened, and you know, for a whole different reason, I've had to kind of really think about how I dress to go to work. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I feel safe at work,
Mm.
but I have to obviously get to work, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry to the viewers to be so down about it, but I'm already a person of color, and
Mm.
if I dress in a way that's not what they think a man should dress like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's, I hate to say it this way, but it does become a safety concern. And I
Mm.
don't live in a place where it's fully like hated in a way, but you just never know.
Yeah, no, I hear that, and I can understand that because obviously speaking to so many different people and especially in different parts of
Yeah.
the USA, sometimes hosiery is a bit more accepted or
Yeah.
acceptable versus other places where it's a smaller town or it's quite
Yeah.
conservative or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. So I can understand from that point. But yeah, it's just oh, there's so much I want to say. But I
Say it
think
all.
no, oh God, don't get me started. But I think it is just it is a shame the fact that it's like how you said, you're just getting back into the swing of things. You are just getting your mojo back in terms of wearing again, feeling more like yourself again, and then having something like this knocking you back, and it's like, oh my God, right, okay. Um, it can be really, really challenging. And I wanted to ask, like, with that now coming in, obviously you mentioned about, there's a potential safety factor, getting to and from work. It may be a concern, it may not be a concern, but it's still there's now that lingering kind of fear, whereas it could be something. Like for people who are like obviously watching and listening, who may be in the same kind of boat as you, what's like, is there a piece of advice that you could give or some sort of guidance or something that you can give where, they may have been knocked back by this and it's like, oh my God, I'm now gonna have to kind of, change my identity or change the way I dress or, how I carry myself now, and I can't be authentically me anymore because of, who's kind of coming into power and everything. Is there like anything you could kind of advise or kind of say that could help? Because obviously you're in that
No.
situation where it's easy for me to kind of sit back and say something, but I'd rather hear it from you, to be honest.
Oh man. Well, if I'm to be truthful, I was really hoping this could be a platform for me to get advice to.
No, I'm more than happy to. I'm more than happy to, but I think it's just
You know,
it's like I said, there's
everybody,
one thing me
if
sitting here.
anybody has thoughts, please comment below.
Yes, no, yes, and that too. Please. Oh my God, completely open
I
platform
mean,
here.
you know, I mean, frankly, the easiest way for me, by the way, if you hear like squeaking, that's my dog.
Okay, hi dog.
Just in case anybody hears like a toy squeaking or a dog whining, it's my dog.
Oh, fair enough.
Um, I mean, the easiest thing I did the last time I went to work was I just wore sweats in the
Mm,
car.
yeah.
And I wore sweats to, run my errands before I went to work, and obviously took off my
Mm,
sweatpants in the car.
yeah. Yeah.
That's basically it.
No,
Um,
it is difficult, isn't it? It's just even sitting here, it's like even hearing you say that, it is just, but it's not fair. It's
it's
not
not fair.
fair.
I'm not saying, I don't mean to say
Yeah.
that as like a quick solution,
Mm,
but I mean it's at least for me it gave me a peace of mind. Like I said, I know you have
mm,
followers and listeners that are way braver than I am. Like, way braver
mm.
than I am. So, I don't know if I'm fully qualified to give advice on that. They should be giving advice.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think it's just it's obviously will open the platform to everybody
Yeah.
to to give their kind of like advice and guidance on that. But it's just literally that was the first question I thought of when you kind of said that, because it's just a bit like, well, yeah, what does it mean for those people? And and it's like I said, it's just not fair. You shouldn't have to change the way you dress because of you might be attacked or somebody might say something, and it is depending on each
Well,
person's journey as well.
that's what the scariest thing about particularly um, Trump getting back in power.
Mm,
I think I said it before in a previous episode we've done, but it's like, someone's saying something,
mm,
whatever. People are going to
mm,
say stuff, but when you say, what does it mean to have someone like that in power? And, I mentioned it emboldens the people.
mm,
And, since he became, the United States president the first time, now the second time, it's emboldened people not just to, or at least I think it emboldens people not just to say mean things, but to actually harm people.
mm,
And that's the
mm.
scary part.
Yeah,
You get hurled with insults, sucks, but whatever. Your day goes
yeah,
on. If
yeah.
someone feels suddenly emboldened to like physically attack you, that's
Mm,
different.
yeah,
And no,
yeah, yeah,
it hasn't happened to me. but I don't want it to.
Mm. No, I get that. I get that. And yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to rack your head around. But then it's also like it's happening, and it is just wow. It's one thing, kind of. Oh my God, imagine if that happened, and it's a whole thing. Well, it's happening. How the hell are we going to kind of,
Exactly.
face that, or like? But I think it's hard because it's I understand everybody is on their different journey. Everybody is either whether starting out, they're bold and brave enough to just carry themselves however, whenever, and not giving an F. And there are people that are in between where it's like, yeah, but I still do kind of care, and oh my God, the words still do hurt. And like I'm taking a step back sometimes because it can get too much, whatever it may be. And I think it's not like a one solution is gonna help every single person.
Oh my gosh, it would be
Do you
easier
know
if
what
it
I
was one
mean?
solution.
Yeah, like a one size fits all kind of thing. But that's what I
Yeah.
mean. The bold and the brave can be like, well, yeah, of course, go gung ho, it doesn't matter. But then there's also, but actually, for someone, for instance, like yourself, and when I've had my down days and I've brought myself back up, it's that one comment or that one look can instantly turn back again and be like, oh my God, why did I wear this? I shouldn't have done it. It's too soon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is very, very different for everybody. But I think the
And yeah,
easiest.
and like you pointed out, it just feels, you know, just feels unfair.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And and it's sad. It's just really sad, considering, like the world was kind of moving forward to some degree, and in certain countries, and maybe not
Yeah,
so
that's
much
why,
forward in other countries.
I was so
But
sure. I personally was so excited to, you know, open a new
mm,
chapter. And I was like, what? Yes, I bought, new
mm,
clothes and, to kind of, reignite, my hosiery collection. And then it's
mm.
like, oh God.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Here's a question for you, just thinking about it,
Yeah.
right? Like, so, and obviously it's just how you kind of are at the moment, your state of mind at the moment kind of thing. Is it something where like you could potentially, because obviously, you've gone back and forth at the moment with stuff, and you're now in that potentially good place of, okay, do you know what? I'm now dressing for me again, and I'm getting more comfortable with me again, and I'm on a better path before this whole scenario happened.
Hmm.
In terms of that, like I'm just thinking, like, if I was put myself in your position, like one thing I would like to try and do is, as much as obviously there is still that safety concern, and there's still going to be those factors around, and everything, is it kind of still try and do you, but do it subtly? So you know how you said, like, you'll probably be wearing sweats over your stuff, or you're just going to get changed at work. But maybe is it something like to still try and make a stand to be like, actually, do you know what? You guys aren't going to get to me. You guys aren't going to break me. I'm still going to try and be you. And maybe just keep continuing with that in terms of still dressing up in hosiery, still going in, doing it day by day. You're still going to be retaliating against people to be like, yeah, you can give me the dirty looks, but I'm still going to carry on. Like, could that be an option, or is that just not a thing for you?
Oh wow, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, no, no, it is. But
Um,
I'm just thinking of like different scenarios, because it is just I just it
well,
sucks
like I said,
to.
I think for me, the way I think of it, like I said, like, a dirty look, dirty
Mm,
comment, it is what it is. It's just, I think it's like an actual fear of personal safety.
mm,
Um, I'm not saying that I won't, but I can honestly foresee me doing my sweatpants um
yeah.
tactic until further notice.
Okay.
Because again, like I said, like I'm very thankful my workplace is very open to it. Nothing really happens
Mm,
there. If anything, I get compliments there, so it's nice.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But and every so often I go to like Comic Cons and
Mm,
very very friendly places there. Um
yeah.
you should check your DMs. I don't know if you saw, but I posted, myself at a K-pop party at a Comic-Con.
Oh, I think I did see that.
Okay.
I
Well,
think I
anyway,
did see that. Yeah.
but point is, there are opportunities, but I guess in places where I just feel like, I don't want to see, I just don't want to, it's gonna be, this is such a sad way to say this, but I just don't want to stick out in negative ways where that someone can, I guess,
Yeah.
make an opinion. Just want to,
Yeah.
I just want to, just get to where I'm going and then I can stand up.
Mm. No, I get that, and I do respect that. I think it's yeah, it's just it just annoys me. It just really annoys me just to hear the fact that somebody has to like change, whether it be a big or small change, to just, to in the sense of safety, for the sake of safety. It's just, oh God, my buds are falling out. It is just, it's annoying.
Like when when we talk about like mean comments, like, I mean,
Mm,
in the big bad ugly, when you get in the big bad ugly mindset, it's like, oh, believe me, I can think of worse things than any person could say.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
comments again just are what they are, but you know, personal safety,
Mm, yeah. No,
And
I
again,
get that.
I don't want to trivialize that. Like, I don't know how many people watching, listening, or following you, like you said, maybe from smaller places than I am. That
Mm,
maybe, a lot more conservative than I am. I'm not, in I'm thankfully not in that big of one, but still enough to where I'm at least
mm,
concerned.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
so I don't want to trivialize anybody that may be listening from them, but yeah, I wish there was a one size fit
Mm,
all solution.
yeah.
Or one
God,
size
if
fit all
only, if
mindset.
only. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But then there's beauty to be said in the not having that type of mindset either. But I suppose it is what it is, isn't it? It's just it's a wave that it's just gonna be ridden out up until, what is it, every 4 years? Is it every 4 years in the USA? Or
Yeah.
yeah. God.
Well, I mean, I hate that such become such a topical thing, but it is a topical thing.
Mm,
But I mean, there's obviously people will just have their opinions, no matter who's in charge.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, my hope is whenever that maybe just will stop like just the vicious attacks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know peace. What a novel concept.
I know, right? I know. God. But then it's funny because it's like I'm a big believer in yin and yang. It's like, as much as it would be incredible if we like achieved world peace or something, but then at the same time, it's just, you need that balance, don't you? It's just everything in life. There's always a balance to everything, isn't there? So yeah, yeah.
But
God.
yeah, that's an
Mm.
update of where I am.
Wow, God, I know it's definitely been a journey for you. Ever since we started speaking and, obviously doing the sharing your journey together and just generally in DMs and stuff, it's been a journey for you. And I just want to say, like, thank you for coming on and speaking about it. Like, I know obviously it isn't a happy, happy, jolly, jolly one, but I understand the fact that everybody goes through different things. And it's just nice to hear somebody vocalizing, actually, I had to deal with this. And actually I had to deal with this. And I wasn't in a good space. And that can happen. And it happens so frequently, but so many people don't want to come out and talk about it because they see it as a weakness, or they see it as, no, I might be shamed
Or
or
in I
embarrassed
guess
or something.
yeah, like I just for especially for me, I just felt like, oh my God, why is this happening?
Mm,
It's
mm,
like I thought I reached my destination. Why am I not, why am I pulling back?
yeah. Well, do you know what? One thing I've noticed, right, is when I've gone through those, it's because there has been or is going to be a major change in my life or some sort of change in my life. And that's when I've noticed, like, I don't know if it's with other people as well, but from my point of view, it's whenever something doesn't sit right anymore, or I'm going through a bit of a dip on something, or like I'm so up in my emotions all of a sudden, whatever it may be, is whatever's out the norm, I've realized there's because it's a change of mindset or there's a change that's happening for the better. It's always going to be for the better. Um, but it can happen very, very frequently. It can happen once every while. But I think it's just, yeah,
No,
it does happen.
I think you're onto something with that. I will say, out of the big bad ugly mindset, it did force me to sort of like, I guess another thing, if we're going back to the previous questions, like, what I do to get out of it, I guess
Mm, mm.
it definitely forced me to, I guess, rethink life choices.
Yeah,
I guess in terms of like health, because it would, in the big bad ugly period, I definitely was going through like intense, like just body image,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
problems. And, um, so I guess, something that came out of it was like, okay, well, I definitely started like eating better.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
so I guess that sort of led to like, kind of getting back into a certain way. Um,
yeah.
I think that time kind of ties into what you just said.
Mm,
Just change of
yeah.
mindset, can be good.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you've got to also be in that in the right like I say right headspace, but it's in that headspace to do that as well. Because I can understand
Sure.
even thinking about that, you'd be like, oh my God, are you joking? You're asking way too much of me. But then it's also if you're ready to kind of be like, look, do you know what? I now need to get out of this funk. What can I do to help myself? It is,
Exactly.
yeah, you're going to receive it a lot different. So yeah, I have 100,000% agree with you there. Definitely agree with you there. I was just gonna say actually we're like kind of coming to time, but I just literally I really appreciate you, Timmy, and I really genuinely want to thank you for coming on today and actually speaking
I
about
want to
that.
thank you.
It's
I want to thank you too so much. I don't mean to say this in a way to make you feel bad, but I think during the big bad ugly time where I just felt like I wasn't in the club anymore,
mm,
it was so saddening to me.
mm, no,
And
I can understand.
like, I just I felt like I let you down.
Oh, please, oh God, don't set me off. You can never. Once you're part of the club, you're always going to be part of the club, Timmy. Whoever it is, always going to be with. I'm never gonna let you leave. Put it that way. I'm always going to be there, and especially when it's going to be your time of need. And it is just whatever I can do, obviously within my power, obviously because I've been
Sure, sure.
stupidly busy, but it is just as much as I can, I will always try and be there for someone, especially when it's you're going through those days because it's I've been there, done that, lived through it so many times, and it is just it can be a bitch. And it is just if and it's just any little thing I can do to help. Oh my God, I would do it definitely. But don't
Well,
ever feel you're not part of the club. Even if you're going through that mindset, don't. Do
well, just
not.
know I'm eternally grateful to you.
No, I
Just
appreciate you. Honestly, I really appreciate you.
and everybody, don't forget to comment if you have advice,
Oh, yes, please. Oh my God, yes, please. Please, some advice, guidance, tips, whatever it may be, because obviously this
general
is going to be a very
comments,
testing time. So
general
it'll be very
comments.
much
It doesn't have to be
appreciated.
helpful, but if you have something to say,
Yeah, yeah. It's just, and especially in a time of need like this, where it's I have seen a lot of people come out and say, "Oh my God, what's this going to mean for me?" It is just actually it's nice to be able to find that support. And so
yeah.
yes, let's have an amazing support network, especially all my USA people. Let's have an amazing support network and support one another in these times too, kind of thing, because that will make the world of difference. So yeah. So no, yeah, I'll definitely pitch that question out to everybody. Be like, oh my God, send us some stuff. But But no, but thank you so much for coming on, Timmy. I really appreciate you and your time.
Thank you so much, and I hope to have updates for another episode one day.
Yes, no, definitely, definitely. It'll be nice to touch base again in the next couple of months and see how you are, how you're getting on, where you're at, and how things are kind of progressing in the USA and stuff. That's always going to be interesting to know. So,
Right.
yes, exactly. But so thank you so much for coming on, Timmy. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.